Gentleman yields back the balance of his time. The gentleman from Massachusetts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I have great respect for my colleague from Oklahoma, but I will take exception with his characterization of us passing messaging bills. Let me just go through a few items here that we did pass and that have been signed into law. The Honoring Our Pact Act for our veterans, the Inflation Reduction Act, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the Ending Forced Arbitration of Sexual Assault and Sexual Harassment Act, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. I mean, the biggest investment in infrastructure ever in this country. A bill, by the way, that some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle voted against, but they were at the announcement of monies to rebuild bridges and roads in their district, even though they voted against it. The Postal Reform Act, Protecting Medicare and American Farmers from Sequester Cuts Act, the American Rescue Plan Act. I go on and on and on. These aren't messaging bills. These are major investments in our country that will have an impact for generations, that will help our children, that will help our senior citizens, that will help our veterans. This is what we're supposed to be doing, helping uplift the American people, investing in our country. So that's not messaging, that's real work. And today's bills aren't messaging bills either. I mean, helping our 9/11 families. It's not a messaging bill. That's real. It's something we should do. We ought to be together on that. Or this continuing resolution. This is important, especially in light of all the natural disasters that are happening in this country right now. So, Madam Speaker, this should be simple. We have an obligation to fund the government. We have a bipartisan bill, again, that had 72 votes in the Senate. We have a bipartisan bill that not only will keep the lights on, but will provide critical funding to help communities devastated by recent natural disasters. Now, House Republicans have made it clear that they would rather brag about their dangerous, extreme, unpopular agenda than do real work. And all I can say to that is that Democrats are committed to putting people over politics. You know, their radical agenda bans abortion, and we want to protect Americans' right to affordable, accessible health care and safeguard America's right to reproductive care. We're here to defend Americans' right to vote. They want to make it easier to overturn elections. You know, I mean, we want to protect Social Security. I mean, you saw the agenda that the Republican leaders in the Senate unveiled. It got Social Security. I mean, so there is a contrast here. But today, we are here to advance relief for communities hit by natural disasters, pass overdue benefits for 9/11 families, and keep the government running. You know, what does putting people over politics mean? It means that we come together to make sure that the people of Florida have what they need to get through this terrible disaster. It means that we are there for the people of Puerto Rico, and that we are there for the people of Alaska, that we are there for people anywhere in this country, whether it's a red state or blue state, who are dealing with these natural catastrophes. So that's what this is about. You know, if this went down and we shut the government down, I mean, the pain that people are already dealing with, you know, would only increase. And shame on us for doing that. Now, I get it. I mean, there are some people here who don't really care about whether the government stays open or shuts down. My friends, you know, when they were in charge, I'll remind you again, when the Republicans controlled the House, when they controlled the Senate, they controlled the White House, they shut the government down. They walked away. The longest shutdown in history. Billions and billions and billions of dollars it cost our economy. I mean, so, you know, we had to clean up their mess when we took over. And here we are today doing what is right for the American people, for all people. This is not about politics. This is about putting people over politics. So I urge a yes vote on the rule and the previous question. I yield back the balance of my time, and I move the previous question on the resolution.
The gentleman yields back.